Hi.
Hi.
Wow. That was very DJ-ish.
Well, I've been told that I got a face for radio, so
You got a voice for radio.
I know I got those silky smooth tones coming
You
at
got
you
that.
all night long.
Yeah, you got that late night radio voice. We don't need you
Right.
in the morning. We gonna need you in the wee hours of the
No,
morning.
I'm definitely a wee hours sort of guy.
On that note, welcome to the Life Unfiltered podcast show. Now you have me saying it. Because no,
What a great day. What a great day. You finally acknowledged. Let's
the Life Unfiltered
go.
show,
Too late. You said it.
right? I don't, you now have me confused. And now we just sound like babbling idiots.
One of us does.
I'm Ashley Deweese,
I'm
and
Justin DeWeese.
oh, that's not how we do it.
But I wanted to get my radio voice out there a little bit more.
Oh
K
my God.
Billy's super sounds of the 70s.
Okay, I'm over it.
What movie is that from?
I don't know.
Oh, dang it.
I didn't
Reservoir
even give it a
Dogs.
thought. I've never seen that movie. Maybe that should just be like an ongoing question: is you bring up a movie each week to see if it's one that I've seen or not.
Why? I'll just sit here and rattle off movies. You're like, I haven't seen it, haven't
Stop.
seen it, haven't seen it, haven't
No,
seen it.
there's things that you'd be surprised that I've seen that
No,
have
I
you
wouldn't.
have you seen Gleaming the Cube?
No.
What?
Sorry, I liked girls in high school.
What about Heathers?
What?
Oh my gosh, we
No.
have to watch Heathers.
No, 100% not going
No,
to.
we have to watch Heathers. Yes.
It
Yes.
sounds dumb.
It's not. We have to
What's it
watch.
about?
It's got Christian Bale in it
Okay.
and Winona Ryder
Oh, I'm
when they're
out.
younger. And it's about it's it's kind of like a Mean Girls, but not. It's like I can't even explain it. They end up going around killing Heathers.
Like girls named Heather, they kill them?
Yes, but certain Heathers. It's I'm not doing it justice.
Huh. Well, here's the deal. I'm all about murder, but Winona Ryder, I just,
Why don't
I
you like
don't.
her?
Big Brown Beaver.
Here. Veronica, played by Winona Ryder, is part of the most popular clique at her high school, but she disapproves of the other girls' cruel behavior. When Veronica and her new boyfriend JD confront clique leader Heather Chandler and accidentally poison her, they make it appear as suicide. Soon Veronica realizes that JD intentionally killing students he does not like. She races to stop JD while also clashing with the clique's new leader, Heather Duke, played by Shannon Doherty.
Another one.
Rest in peace. She just passed
All,
away. Don't make a joke.
all I can hear is, sorry, Heather, shut up, Heather.
I know. Sorry, Heather. We did a TikTok during the vid with our daughter, and it's really funny, but it popped up in our memories the other day. Anyways, this is started off as quite the engaging episode, let me tell you.
I think so. Listen, I'll give you guys a little BTS of the Life Unfiltered podcast show. That's behind the scenes, honey, in case you didn't
I
know.
knew exactly what it was and was going to tell them. Thank you very much.
But we exchange messages about what we're going to do the podcast on. And typically she'll be like, "Did you have something you want to talk about this week?" And I'll give some amazing, well thought out idea. And the reply typically comes back of, we've sort of talked about that already. We can't do that one again. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. We'll figure something else out. And so this goes back and forth, and eventually, more often than not, we land on a topic.
We do.
But this week, we didn't land on a topic. And I
We didn't
said,
try very hard. And I actually was thinking it's been a while since we've just done an episode where we pushed record and like
oh,
whatever.
oh, oh, here, see,
Whatever.
now it's her idea. But I
Whatever.
messaged her this morning. I said, "Hey, how about we just do a wild card episode where we hit record and whatever happens happens, and God will take the wheel, and it's going to be an amazing podcast." This is sort of like a get to know your charming, attractive hosts without like the boring, so what's your favorite color?
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Um,
Because as just
okay.
engaging in conversation,
Right.
you'll get to know more about our personalities and
Right.
how awesome Justin is.
Do you know that you're a slow talker? Like when I
I,
edit these episodes every single week, I edit out or I don't edit I don't edit these episodes when I edit like a reel or something to give a short version. There's like so much like space that I edit out when you're talking. You're just a slow talker.
I refuse to take that criticism from you
Why?
because you're worse than I am,
Not in this format.
just in all the formats that matter. Got it.
This format matters. Anyways, I was just saying, like, you're a really slow talker. I have to put you on 1.5 speed to listen to
That's fine. I have to put you on mute to listen to you.
you. That's so rude.
How you like them apples?
I'm used to those apples, so
So we're coming up on the end of fall sports season. How does that make you feel?
you know, it's one of those things. I'm glad, but like I'm also not glad, right? Like, and not that glad that it's ending because I'm ready to move on to their next sport or their next season of
Right.
activities. But it's been a cool this year has been really, really cool. And I think part of that, even though it sucks a lot of times having multiple kids in multiple sports, which we only have two kids. Those y'all out there that have like three, four, five kids in different kinds
God bless you.
of, yes, God bless you. Um, but I think this year it's been cool because, Dax not only had the opportunity as a sixth grader to be a part of a school team, um, but also that he took on a sport that none of us are very familiar with,
Right.
doing cross
It's
country.
cross country for the uninformed.
So it's been really cool to like have an experience with a new sport, to see him experiencing a new sport and what that's like for him and what he loves about it and that kind of thing. So I mean that's been really cool. So it's not like, oh, I'm not ready to move on. I really loved this fall season for that reason. Um I rhymed there. Did you see that?
Stop. I knew you were going to do that. Gosh, so predictable.
Um, Volleyball season for school. Again, it's a catch 22. I have helped out as assistant coach this year with Ayla's team, which was not the original intention, but they needed that spot filled and were having trouble filling it. So I had the ability and stepped into that. So it's been cool having that opportunity to not only spend that time with her in that way and be a part of that. It's been cool to help mentor, coach these other junior high girls. I mean, you just you learn so much. While it's frustrating as all get out, it also just was a huge reminder to me of one, how I want to continue to work on being just very in tune and aware and empathetic with our daughter. Um, Kids, boys and girls, but girls for sure, like living in the world today is just, some
It's
things
a mess.
well, it is. And some things it doesn't matter what era you grew up in. Like there's going to be some things that are always going to be the case for young women, but just the world we live in today, like there's just a lot of added crap that weighs on them. And, I got to see it firsthand this season. And so, yeah, but at the same time, really freaking stressful for a personality like me, working with junior high girls. So, I mean, I'm ready for it to be done. I'm ready just for the newness of something else. But it was definitely this season has been a good experience for both the kids, I think.
And just so you're aware, in case you're not overly familiar with Ashley's preferred coaching and communication style at this point, you know, when coaching middle school girls, oh, look, podcast recording time to blow the nose.
I know it just happens. It's
But
ridiculous.
anyway, when coaching middle school girls, you kind of got to be, you know, gentle and, you know, massage the subject. And my lovely wife is more of a, well, just fucking do that thing sort of coach.
I don't
So,
the girls, by the way.
well, yeah, right. That's what I'm
I wouldn't
saying.
ever at any girls, but we also are at a Christian
That's
way.
the point I'm trying to make. That it's been fascinating watching you grow through this experience of having to coach outside of your
Yeah.
preferred coaching style.
Well, not even outside of it. I had to definitely add to it, right? I had to, and
Sure.
I knew that going into it. And I think it's actually an example of what we talk about, right? That in order to grow and evolve, we have to intentionally, sometimes we're unintentionally placed in these situations, but you're better off when you also intentionally put yourself in situations that are outside of your comfort zone, that are going to cause you to have to like adopt new skills, to have to utilize different perspectives. In my case, it was almost I had to really learn how to rein it in, rein in my
Uh-huh.
my
Oh
boldness,
yeah.
directness, just from a place of like, they're emotional basket cases at this age, more so than women are
I'm
at
not even
old
gonna touch that one.
at older periods of their life. But yeah, like so I definitely had to rein it in. I did not abandon my directness, and I think that's important too, right? Is that I think a lot of times, like, people don't give young people the credit that they deserve in some ways. Meaning, I think sometimes, and especially in the world today, like, we can be like too soft on kids. Like, we're just too soft with kids
Oh
because,
yeah.
for a variety of reasons. Like, people think that they can't handle it. People think that it, you know, causes negative problems or issues in them or with them. Um, a multitude of things that people will cite as reasons you shouldn't be so direct, you shouldn't be so structured or disciplined, you shouldn't ever raise your voice in a practice, you shouldn't, there's just all these things that I certainly still stuck to, my tried and true beliefs about, not any different than we raise our own kids, right? And carried that over
Right.
into the coaching. But you definitely I definitely had to slow down, right? And think about, I mean, there were definitely times, and I'll shut up then and let you interject what you're going to interject, but I can think of a one instance in particular where I needed to I needed to talk with an athlete in regard to her attitude and her outward demeanor. And as soon as she got over to me, I went into my natural, I didn't say anything, but like my brain went into my natural flow of coaching with that. But because I knew I had to be aware, I had to slow myself down and quickly in my brain go, okay, she's 13. You can't, you can't fully go in with this. You've got to choose your words carefully and speak in a way that can address what you want to address, but in a way that helps her feel cared for, supported, safe, secure, etc. And I did. And I'm very proud of myself because again, it definitely caused me to not do what is natural for me,
Right.
but that's important because that is how you grow.
Well, yeah, and I mean that's the key, right? Like if you're always in the same sort of scenarios and always able to do things in the way that feels most natural or just comes to you sort of thing, like you're never going to grow and you're
Right.
never going to add to that toolkit. And then eventually you will find yourself in situations where you can't do that. And if you haven't practiced it, haven't put in those reps, it may be a flaming disaster.
For sure. For sure.
But yeah, no, like I said, it's been fascinating to watch you.
Well, I'm glad I could provide you with some entertainment of sorts.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's we're getting to that age with the kids where it's not season this, season that. It's all they just bleed together and all just
Right.
keep going forever and ever. Because Dax is wrapping up cross country, but soccer will still be going, and then the week after cross country's done, basketball starts up for him. So
And he's got 1 day a week of baseball
yeah,
practice.
and baseball practice started on October 1st, which he's loving. And
Right.
so yeah,
Right.
it's
And then Ayla ends at school volleyball, but starts up her club volleyball practice and tournaments and games, which will start later in the winter. And dance competition season is here for rehearsals and Christmas shows and then competitions. And yeah, and we chose this, right? Have kids, they say. It will be fun, they say. But I mean, it is. I think one of the things that we do well, and really it's all kind of interwoven, but we've been really intentional about, I think, I don't know that we didn't ever really like sit down and have a conversation to say, like, this is how we want it to go. But we always have talked about, what we value and what's important to us, right? And
right,
one of those things is family,
correct.
and not just like not just having family, but like having or be building a supportive and closely connected unit. Um,
What? I said nothing.
you said nothing, but as soon as the word unit came out of my mouth, you got that smirk on your face, like she said unit.
No, I was just getting a drink of coffee. Grow up.
No, so that's important. And then, um, also like pursuing our own goals and dreams, which are, of course, tied to our family, but those are
Of
also
course.
like individual and couple type of goals and dreams that support our family. And what I'm trying to say is there are a lot of parents, at least I hear and see a lot of talk that when people have kids, their kids become the center focus of their entire life.
Right.
And, lots of jokes and things are there around the interwebs about, oh, I'll see you again. I'll see you again when my kids have graduated or whatever, because it's all about them.
Right.
And one of the things that I'm really proud of us for is I believe that we've done a very good job of keeping I don't know if balance is the right word, but we don't miss anything that our kids are involved in, even our kids themselves. Like we travel as a family to be at the activities and events of each other. And it's not just our kids.
Correct.
And so I think that's the difference is like we have family as the focus, but it's not the entire focus. It doesn't run our entire life. Like everything is not built around, we don't sacrifice like we don't sacrifice some of the core things that are important to us as individuals or as a couple in order for our kids to be able to be involved and do the things that they want to do, if that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Like I feel like we've done a really good job of finding a balance with that. And I think probably the key or the hack that we found unknowingly that I don't know that some families do is we're all a part of the important things that we do. Like our kids are as much a part of our businesses as we are. Like they're involved in that. So when
Right.
it comes to something where, if I'm like when I hosted the retreat last year for my women's personal growth community, like yes, that was a retreat that I was hosting for my coaching business, but it was something that our entire family, including my mom, was involved with. Everybody knew about it. They know my client. You all know my clients. You're a part of the process. You helped put on that retreat that weekend. You all were there to support me with that because it's not just a me thing, it's a we thing. And the
Right.
same thing with their activities. Like that's something that we're all a part of. So when Ayla has activities, like we do our best to make sure that not only we are there, but that Dax is there as well, obviously without compromising the commitments
Right.
that he has. Um,
Obviously.
but I feel like maybe that might be a reason that, aside from we don't sign up for everything, like
Truth.
we don't try to get in 100 different things. So we do limit the things that we're involved in, but it's just all a part of our lives. So we schedule our lives around the things that is important to each of us because what's important to each of us is what's important to all of us.
Right. Well said.
Yeah, I don't,
And
that just came.
no, well, hey, man, that's the best stuff,
Divine
right?
download.
And to your point about not signing up for all the hundreds of different things, that's because again of how we prioritize things and where we place the emphasis, right? Like obviously there are 100 things that we could be signing up for. And there are some things that, the kids sometimes come and say, "Hey, I want to do this, that, or the other thing," and we say, "Hey, we can't because we've got to go cheer on Ayla or help with
Right.
this or do whatever." Um, and so hopefully, obviously, they're kids, and so often in the moment they're like, oh, "I
Right.
really wanted to go do this thing with Derek or whoever." Um, Hopefully, in the long run, they'll look back and say, "Man, I'm so glad we did it like this." And I think they will, but
Yeah.
look back and say, "Man, I'm so glad we did it like this because all of them were at everything of mine. I was at everything of theirs, and we supported each other, and we all had an amazing experience overall."
Well, and it just reinforces the importance of family, right?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, the person's birthday party that you got invited to when you were 12 or 13, I'm not saying it's not important for kids to be able to go to birthday parties. It is. And we make
Right.
sure that they get to
Yeah.
some birthday parties.
Yes. For all our
Then,
dear listeners, they get to go to birthday parties. Okay.
but they do miss a lot of
Right.
birthday
There's things they
parties too.
miss because we're doing something else.
But
Right.
when you look at the grand scheme of life, they're not going to look back and be like, I'm still so pissed at you that I missed so and so's 12th birthday. They're going to look back and remember, like you're saying, like
Right.
being there for each other and the importance of family. And that's going to come in for them later in life too. Obviously, we've touched on before the different dynamics of your family and my family. Um, I believe that first of all, obviously we both have a family. Um, all families have similar family things, right? I mean, that's just
Yeah.
humans together are going to have like, conflict, good times, bad times, etc. But, you know, your family, correct me if I'm wrong, but like your family has always really been centered on the importance of family and the importance of
Yeah.
supporting each
Pretty much.
other and being there for each other. And maybe that's been more so in like later years or what have you. My family definitely like supportive, but there was just so much brokenness in the different levels and echelons of it. Like that's something that I always desired, right? So
Sure.
all I'm saying is you probably saw it playing out in your life more than how or how often I actually saw strong family and support being played out in mine. And so for me, like for you, that's something that would probably become more natural. For me, that's something that I didn't really get much of or enough of. And I wanted to make sure that our kids did. And so it's something we've been very intentional about. And, that's something you've heard us say on other episodes. Like, I hope that you pick up on some of these patterns in our episodes, because even though we're not talking about the same specific topics from week to week, there should be an undercurrent of themes that you do
Right.
talking about every single week. And that intentionality, like we didn't just, our family doesn't just work and value what it does because it just, the cards just fell that way. Like we've made some intentional decisions along the way to craft the kind of family culture that we have.
Right. Well, that's the thing, right? So that's, you classify that as a big nug, right? That we have made that choice
Yeah.
regardless of the background,
Right.
right? Because someone could look at us and say, oh, well, of course you do everything and place family first and whatnot because you both came from strong family first,
Right.
everything's together sort of backgrounds. The reality is we didn't. And we chose that. Um, and so whatever it is you aspire to or want for your life, regardless of your background, you can make that choice. You can have those conversations. You can put that intentionality into your life and do the dang thing.
Right.
It
Like,
may not be as easy as someone who had the background to support it, right? But you can do it. The background is irrelevant.
right. Well, I mean, it's no different than, you know, deciding that we wanted to be a family who focuses on health,
Right.
right? And, we talk, and obviously, my mom is back in her room while we're recording. I think she's back there unless she snuck out while we were doing it. And it's no lie to her, but like, there's things on the health train that she's come along with, right, over the years as we've made it a focus. Um, but I think if you ask her outright and she was honest, like, there's still some choices that we make in regard to like how our kids eat, for sure, what they eat, what they don't eat, that she may not totally agree with. Because again, like that's maybe not how she parented, that's not how she grew up,
Right.
have you? And so again, like it's not easy necessarily when you make a choice that this is the way we want things to be, but if it's something that's important to you, then you just learn how to navigate that because it matters in your life. Because not, if you just go with the flow of what everyone else is doing, then you're going to get the kind of life that everyone else is getting. And I don't want the life
Right.
where we are running balls to the walls to kids activities all the time. I don't want it to be the case where you and I are just passing ships in the night, running kids from here to there. And again, I don't want kids that, yeah, you got to be involved in all of the things, but at the expense of time with the people that are actually going to be there with you for the rest of your life.
Right.
Or at least that's what we're working to try to build, right? Is that culture of like, we're here for each other from now till the end. Whereas some of these activities and some of the people involved in the activities at school, friends, sports, wherever, like they're not going to be there to the end. Like this core nucleus and obviously our extended family, like we're building this, so like these are your people and these are your people that are your ride or dies from now till the end of time. And so you've got to invest in those relationships and in the time there over a lot of anything else. And that's just how, like you said, we have specifically chosen to do things and build things for us.
And this is the magic of us, right? Because we just hit the dang button, recorded a podcast, and look at the value that dripped out of this thing.
I know
Come on.
it's amazing. It's amazing. So hopefully you found some nuggets in there. And again, you have to be able to read between the lines as well. So ideally, as a listener, you're listening for how the things we say might apply in your own life, even if it's not a direct correlation. So if you're a listener that does not have children, or your children are already like grown and out the house and all the things, how could you apply the things that we've stated today to any other thing in your life that you want to be a priority? And how do you create that as a piece of value in your life, something that you're going to work your life around because it matters and it's important to you? So that was just a long
And
one.
listen, if you tuned in and you've listened this far, first of all, thank you. God bless you. But if you listen this far, you're like, man, these two idiots. I didn't need this sort of just rambling whatever today. Here's a suggestion.
They needed it. Everybody
Oh,
needs.
well, I know. Listen, you
Everybody
and I,
needs a little Beard and Ashley in their life.
listen, Linda, you and I
Lisa,
both
Linda.
know, you and I both know that to be the truth, right? But there may be some knuckleheads out there that don't realize it yet, and that's fine. What I'm saying is go to the comment section and tell us what you want to hear us discuss. What
Yeah, because we
topic do we
can
need to
discuss just
cover?
about anything. I mean, I
Right.
might veto some things if they're just like, no. Like I'm not going to talk about Bitcoin. It's dumb. That's the podcast. So if you ask to talk about crypto or Bitcoin, something, I'm just saying there's some things and I'd be like, no, not talking about that.
Right. Understood. Get off the pedestal. Okay?
I'm actually not on one today. I'm saying
Ugh, it's a metaphor, honey.
thank you. I know what a metaphor is.
Criminy. Anyway, beloved Lupsters.
Why do you say
Talk
that? You say that every week and it annoys the shit out of me because I don't even know what that means. Beloved lobsters?
Lupsters. Life
Lobsters?
Unfiltered podcast show. They're
Oh, are
Lupsters.
you kidding me right now that
They
that's
tune in.
insane?
Yeah.
Oh
Are
my,
you kidding me right now that you're so slow that
wait,
you couldn't figure that out?
lobsters?
Lupser.
Lupser. Life
Lupser.
Unfiltered
Filtered podcast
podcast.
shower. Lupser.
Like I used to respect your intelligence, but now I just am not so sure.
Wow. Wow.
Lup-
Anyway,
Oh my gosh.
leave a comment. Let us know what you'd like to hear us discuss, and we'd love to tackle it.
Let us
Some of
know
us
what
would.
other dumb acronyms you'd like Justin to make up. What do you need an acronym for in your life? Put that in the comments. I'm sure he'll come up with something super awesome.
Oh, I will, and it will be super awesome. But anyway,
We
enough of her
appreciate
putting
you
me down.
guys. We appreciate you so very much.
To,
Man,
for
I
the
can't wait to go into the rest of this day with you.
From the very bottom of our hearts.
Yes. See you next week.
She's so rude, unnecessarily even. Like it's just, you don't have to have a little hissy fit about it just because you don't understand it and you're not complicated enough of an individual to dig into things like this. Like, just let it go, man. You don't got to be a child about it. That's what I'm getting at.